And I'm done with these black pastors, these black churches being step and fetch it for the Democratic Party. That's exactly what they're being. Step and fetch it for the Democratic Party. Thank you so much for liking and your comments and subscribing to the channel. Please share this with your friends. Smash that like button. Smash the subscription bell. Share this with everybody you know. We're trying to make sure people understand that they're not victims, that they are empowered for greatness, and all this stuff that's out here that's telling them otherwise is false and will not benefit them in the end. So please, I appreciate that. Share that. Well, it must be campaign season. It must be time for people to go to the polls. And the reason why I say that is because it's the biannual, sometimes annual ritual of black churches and black pastors, some black churches and black pastors, putting on a minstrel show for the Democratic Party. They're the step and fetch it for the Democratic Party. I know that's strong, but the reason why I say that is because in Virginia, there's a gubernatorial race, an election that happens next week. And by the way, if you are in Virginia and you listen to this, please go out and vote. It's so important that you go out and vote. So recently, Vice President Kamala Harris has been in the news. And she's been in the news because there's a video playing of her in over 300 or so churches, black churches in Virginia, every Sunday, that is essentially telling them to go out and vote for Terry McAuliffe, the Democratic person that's running for governor. Now, in and of itself, this is wrong. No church should outright advocate for any candidate. I don't care what party they are. So she's violating IRS rules, 501c3 rules to begin with. But nevertheless, the simple fact that she was given a platform in the black church and no other candidate, no other representative of the Republican candidate was given that same opportunity.
So when I was growing up, we sang in the choir at Oakland's 23rd Avenue Church of God. We sang hymns about how faith combined with determination will see us through difficult times. And we were taught that it was our sacred responsibility to raise our voice and lift up the voices of our community. One of the most significant ways I believe that we can each use our voice is through our vote. So Virginians, you have the opportunity now to raise your voice through your vote, because it's election time. As you know, this is an important election coming up on Tuesday, November 2nd, and early voting is already underway. I believe that my friend Terry McAuliffe is the leader Virginia needs at this moment. Terry McAuliffe has a long track record of getting things done for the people of Virginia. When he was governor, in the wake of the recession, you'll remember, he brought 200,000 jobs to Virginia. Incomes went up and unemployment went down in every city and county in the state. And now, Terry McAuliffe is stepping up again with a clear vision about how to rebuild Virginia's economy for the future, to raise the minimum wage, to make health care more affordable, to give every child a world-class education. Virginians, you deserve a leader who has a vision of what is possible and the experience to realize that vision. Terry McAuliffe is that leader. In 2020, more Virginians voted than ever before, and because you did, you helped send President Joe Biden and me to the White House. This year, I know that you will send Terry McAuliffe back to Richmond. So early voting has already started, and this is the first year that you can vote on Sunday. So please vote after today's service. And if you cannot vote today, make a plan to go vote. Go to iwillvote.com.
That is wrong. If a church is going to show this information, they should show the same thing for the other party. It's only right and it's only fair. But the assumption is all the black people in those churches vote Democrat. You see how patronizing and how for granted they take black people's vote? Terry McAuliffe is struggling. You know why I know he's struggling? Because he's doing an all-out effort to get out the black vote. Even the first black governor of Virginia, Douglas Wilder, recognizes that. This lets you know that he's struggling. So he's pulling out all the stops. He needs to get that black vote up in order for him to win. So he doesn't care about black issues. He's just only there to get black people out to the polls so he can win. And see, that's the problem I have when it comes to these churches. They love to bend over backwards for these candidates that come in every 2 to 4 years, that swoop in and they claim promises, they make promises that they know they will not keep in order to get people to come out to vote. But people are wising up to that, especially young black people. We're wising up to this racket that they're playing, that they have no interest. They have no interest in fulfilling the promises that they made. They don't, because as soon as they get in office, they do nothing of the things they claim they would do for the community. Nothing. It's all about staying in office. And I'm done with these black pastors, these black churches being step and fetch it for the Democratic Party. That's exactly what they're being. Step and fetch it for the Democratic Party. If you're gonna show that video, show the video for the other side. Let people choose. Let people decide. Let the people choose. Don't give them just one side of the argument. Give them both sides and let them choose. But no, you can't do that. You wanna know why? Because the black church, for the most part, is in bed with the Democratic Party. They just are. It's unfortunate. And Kamala Harris, who, because she is brown skinned, feels comfortable enough to speak to these black churches. Talking about when she grew up in the Church of God in Christ in San Francisco. Maybe she did, but the policies and things that she endorses are so contrary to the Word of God. But yet, churches and black pastors will let their blackness supersede godliness. Black pastors and black churches, for the most part, let their blackness supersede godliness. And that is what we're getting. And that is why Democratic candidates feel comfortable enough when they're struggling. See, the only reason why he's doing this, and the only reason why he's enlisting Kamala Harris and Pharrell Williams and other people to come in and support him. See, this is the tried and true Democratic tactic. They think black people are so gullible and so easily led that they'll bring in some celebrities, they'll bring in President Obama, they'll bring in Kamala Harris, and they'll gin up black people to go vote. No, they need to respect our votes more. They need to talk about policies. They need to come and actually, why isn't Terry McAuliffe making that video to the black churches? Why isn't he making that video? Why isn't he speaking directly to the black churches? And maybe he is, but why isn't he making a video like that? Why isn't? Why can't he go directly? And you know what? This goes on both sides of the aisle. I'm done with Republican candidates. I'm done with these Democrat candidates who are afraid to come and speak to black people directly. And so they have their surrogates. They have their surrogates come and speak to them. No, you get on a platform and you make a video and you speak to the issues that are important to the community. You speak to generational poverty. You speak to the lack of entrepreneurs. You speak to the attack that's happening on small businesses in the community that will provide black people with the ability to rise above their circumstances. No, you speak to those things. Don't let your surrogate speak to that. You speak to those things. You speak intelligently to the community like they are people, like you respect them. But they don't. They only respect your vote, and that's the difference. They respect your vote. They don't respect you as a person. They don't respect you as an individual. They don't respect you as a community. They only respect your vote. That's why they send people to your community that they think you will fall behind. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. That's the only reason they send certain people to certain communities. Because they believe just because that person looks like you, that black people are so, but see, that's what they think. And that's what they've been pushing. That's the narrative. That black people are so caught up in skin, that skin trumps everything. And so therefore, if I send somebody that endorses my message, that looks like them, they will follow behind that person. And I strongly disagree with that on both sides. No, you become bold enough to go in their community and speak your policies and speak your vision for whatever office you're running for. That's what needs to be done. You speak to the people as they are, individuals. You speak to them based upon what your vision is for the state, the country, what have you. Don't go speak to the so-called gatekeepers. See, black culture is the only one that I know of that has so-called gatekeepers. That if you entertain them or allow them or engage with them, they would in turn do the bidding for you. They will. That's why you see when it comes to getting out the black vote, there's only a certain number of people. They always get celebrities and entertainers. Is that what they think of us? That all we're good for is entertaining and performing? Seriously, is that what they think of us? That we're only good for entertaining and performing? That's what they think. Because those are the only people they put on stage with them. And that's on both sides. That's the only, but especially it's acute in the black community. It's especially acute because those are the only people they promote. Those are the only people that they, quote unquote, lift up. But we are not victims. We're not powerless. We're not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And we have to stand up and say, no, you speak to us as people. Don't come in here every 2 to 4 years claiming what you're going to do, and then we know you're not going to do it. Treat us like everybody else. Speak your vision clearly so we can understand it. Articulate it. And don't be afraid. Don't patronize us. Don't patronize us by some video that's being sent across 300 some churches. No, you get together with faith leaders and you talk to the faith leaders and tell them what you're going to do. But they can't and they won't because they do not value you as a person. They value and respect your vote. They do not value and respect you as a person and as a community. And that's a fact. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And we must stand up and fight back against people that take us for granted and take our votes for granted. Our votes are precious and they should be treated as such and they should be respected. And that means that the people should come and talk to us as people. They need to respect us as people, not just respect our vote, but respect us as people. So this video that Kamala Harris did that has been circulating across the churches in Virginia, she probably won't, and that's another thing. It's interesting how certain people bend the rules for their benefit. If this was done in evangelical white churches in Virginia, there'd been an uproar about it. But because Kamala Harris did it in black churches, you barely heard of people about it. That's hypocritical and that's wrong. It's hypocritical and it's wrong. But they will break the law. They will bend the law for their benefit. See, it's all about do as I say, not as I do. And that's the idea behind the Marxists, the communists, and the socialists. That's the elitist mentality. It's good for them, but not good for you. It's good if they do it, but it's not good if you do it. They'll penalize you if you do it. But let them do it. They can get away with it because they are entitled to it. And I reject that, and I reject that sentiment. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. They must respect us and not just respect our vote. They must respect us and work for our vote. Work for it, fight for it, earn it.